What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a brand new video. Now today you join me inside the all-new Toyota Fortuner. This is the new facelift, the latest generation, and we're going to be doing a review on it. Now big thanks to NTT Toyota, which is the local Toyota dealership out here in Zanin, for allowing me this opportunity. I'll leave some of their details down in the description below. If you do need anything from them, do check them out and contact them. Now I really do hope you guys enjoy this review. Let's jump right into it. Okay guys, so once again, let us appreciate this beautiful scenery, especially today because it's very sunny and it looks really gorgeous. So the Toyota Fortuner is a medium-sized 3-row seat SUV that is based on the Hilux platform. It's been around since 2005, producing 2 generations, with the second generation being introduced in 2016. This is the latest second generation facelift and it's been heavily revised, especially aesthetically. Now, in terms of exterior design, I think they've absolutely nailed it because it looks very sharp, it looks mean, very aggressive, especially with these 2 strong lines on the bonnet, and also the LED lights. They look, they kind of slim vibe, and you get a daytime running light strip. Although when you climb up, I think the top of the range has even more aggressive daytime running lights. I like this kind of X vibe going on with this gloss black part. It also applies on this side, and when you look at it from far, it has a kind of X shape, and the whole thing just looks very aggressive. Literally looks like it's been crafted by Samurai Jack with his sword. I do also like the contrast with the gloss black, the body paint color, and the silver touch right here. The grille is all new to the facelift, so if you come around to the side, you get 18-inch rims. I feel like they haven't done much on the side profile, but I do like this rear quarter panel glass. It gives a kind of seamless wraparound vibe. If you come around to the back, again, you have a bigger spoiler which adds to that aggressive look. The tail lights have also been redesigned. They're LED, by the way, and they do look sharp, they look cool. You have Fortuner badging right here in gloss black. I do like the gloss black touches. I feel like this black piece right here is also new. Also the gloss black surround. You also do get almost a kind of diffuser style, although I think this is just the housing for the tow hook. Let's actually check out the interior. So the interior on the Fortuner, well, the interior is very analog. I think that's one way to put it. It feels very basic, it feels very old school. I think the biggest rival to this car is the Ford Everest, and that has its digital driver screen, it has its really huge center infotainment screen, whereas in this you have a humbly sized infotainment screen. Although my take is Toyota really knows the kind of people that buy these cars, and they offer what is required or what is needed. I think the type of people that buy these sort of cars look for something that is not complicated, that is not sophisticated. They just want something that is strong, reliable, and it gets the job done. And I think that is what this car is. But anyways, you have this multifunction steering wheel, which does look decently nice, although this one is not leather, it's in this traditional kind of rubber material. There are some media control buttons on the left side, phone answering and hang up button, volume control, a button for switching between tracks, and a mute button, also a voice control. Whereas on the right hand side you have controls for this little center screen right here. You can scroll through some menus and so forth. Like I said, the infotainment screen, it's not small, but it's also not too big. You have a lot of shortcut keys right here, which is, yeah, that's one way of saying, yeah, it's very old school. But the response on this is actually not bad. It's very responsive. It's touchscreen, by the way. And yeah, you can easily scroll through some menus. You can connect your phone. I'm not sure if on this very base car you can get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but I know on the very top trim car those are actually available. You have very traditional looking climate controls, which, yeah, but also once again on the top trim cars you have nicer controls for the climate controls, that is. Manual lever, because this is the very base car, of which we'll get into the trims and so on, but yeah, this one has a manual. You also have two driving mode buttons, one that is eco and one that is power. I guess that will be your sport mode, whereas the third driving mode is the default normal mode. So when you're not selecting one of these, you are in the normal mode. There's also a traction control button. You can turn on and off traction control. There's also a diff lock button if you're trying to get out of sketchy situations. I quite like this old school clock right here. I think even if you jump in something like a Toyota Tez or a very old Corolla, you get this old school type of clock right there, which is, yeah, it's insane. Quality is actually really good, although it's all black, it's all plastic. Some of the materials are really nice, like you have this leather touch right here, you have leather right here on the glove box, and also it might look black, it feels, yeah, it feels well dampened, feels really soft and nice. Center console, there's also some storage down here, which is actually really big. You get leather as standard, as you can see, and the leather feels, yeah, very nice, very premium. Some white stitching as well. I'm trying to see what I'm forgetting. Oh, you also get Fortuner badging on the floor mats, which is really nice. Other than that, everything else is just, yeah, generic, what you'd come to expect, like the grab handles and so forth. Let's actually check out the back seats. So the back seat, now this is a very big car, so you have plenty of headroom. You also have plenty of leg room, although I feel like because this is a 7-seater and there's the third row, it does eat a little bit into the leg room, although there's still like plenty of space. Another thing I've noted is that the floor feels a little bit high, so you do feel a little bit kind of like you're crouching in a way, but it's not too bad. It's actually very comfortable because you can just lean back and just relax however way you want. Although you'll notice if someone much taller than me tried to lean back the way I am leaning back, they wouldn't have as much leg room. I'm not sure if these are adjustable. I think they may be. There's a lever to move them, but yeah, you can move them forward like that. How far back do they go? I think this is as far back as they go. But yeah, leather seats once again, some white stitching, which is, yeah, it's really nice. There's also a 12-volt socket right here. You can charge your stuff. Let's actually check out the boot and the third row seats. So the Fortuner boot space. Now with the seats folded like this, there's about 716 liters of boot space. With the seats unfolded and upright, it's about 206 liters of boot space. Now the spacing is quite squared off, and there's no loading lip, so it's easy to get stuff in and out. Although this is a very tall vehicle, now you'll need to lift stuff quite high to get them into the boot. The carpeting actually feels really nice and soft, although there are these ridges down here. I don't know what these do. Maybe they're for tying stuff down, I'm not really sure, but yeah, the spacing is really nice. It's a bit awkward with that bump all the way there at the front, but yeah, it's a very big boot. Now I'll overlay a shot for you guys on how it looks with the seats upright. Let's actually talk about the different trim levels. Oh, by the way, this is a manual tailgate. On the top spec car, you get a power tailgate. Okay, trim levels on the Fortuner. Now there's literally 11 different trim levels. 11. But here's how I'll break it down for you guys. Now the price ranges from 670,000 rands for the very base car, all the way up to 950,000 rands for the top spec car. Amongst these trim levels, you can choose between a manual or automatic transmission, rear wheel drive or four wheel drive, and also there's a 2.4 and a 2.8 liter engine. Also, as you climb higher up through the range, you can no longer get the manual. I believe the manual only comes in the base trim. Actually, there's also a few nitty-gritties that you can also select, like some safety features, your cruise controls, and so forth. That's how the trim levels go on this car. Let's actually check out the engine choices. Okay, so the engine bay. Now there's a choice of two engines. The lower one is a 2.4 liter turbo diesel 4-cylinder motor, which pushes around 110 kilowatts, which is around 150 horsepower and 400 newton meters of torque. The top engine is the 2.8 liter, also a turbo diesel, also a 4-cylinder, but in this case pushes 150 kilowatts, which is around 205 horsepower and 500 newton meters of torque. Now, like I said, on the base car you can get a manual, which is a 6-speed, but there's also an auto. I think that's also a 6-speed. And yeah, this is the engine bay and it looks absolutely lovely. Let's actually experience how this car drives. So guys, you joined me inside the all-new Toyota Fortuner and we're heading out for a drive. I think for this drive I'll start with the warranty and service plan kind of stuff. So this car comes with a 100,000 kilometer 3-year warranty, and the service plan is done a little bit different on this car. So you get 9 free services, and the service interval is 10,000 kilometers. So it goes in for service every 10,000 kilometers. So which is, yeah, that's cool, that's normal. Now, like I already mentioned, this one has the 2.4 liter engine. It's about 110 kilowatts and 400 newton meters of torque. And where it shines, I think it's with that torque delivery, because it's just, yeah, it's an abundant amount of torque. Even when you're just cruising in sixth gear, if you just give it foot, it just pulls and pulls and pulls. Another thing I noted while driving is that the sound insulation is actually quite good. I think for one, the tire profile is quite big, and the rims are not that big at 18 inches. So if I'm remembering correctly, it sounds a bit slightly more insulated than even the Mercedes GLE. That has really huge rims, and when you're driving, that tire noise reflects into the cabin. So this is slightly more relaxing. Another thing about the driving experience is that this car feels very bouncy. Like it just jiggles and bounces around, but it's very comfortable still. It feels very muscular and solid, and you can tell that you're driving quite a strong machine in a way. So fuel consumption on this engine, Toyota claims 6.8 liters per 100 kilometers, but on the trip computer right now it's reading 9.9. So yeah, not too heavy, because this is a big car. This car is huge literally, and it's very heavy. Like everything about it is just, yeah, it weighs a lot. So 9.9 on a car of this mass, I think is quite good. Very decent. Yeah, there's a bit of wind noise that comes from the mirrors because I think they're quite big, but what I like about them is that you get a great view of what's behind you because they're quite big. So currently driving on a hill, and I'm driving in 5th gear, and my foot is not even all the way down, and it just surges forward like effortlessly. It's just, yeah, it's quite cool. The steering wheel feels like it darts around a lot. I don't know if it has to do with the height of the vehicle or what, but it's quite relaxing. It's a very nice car to drive. Like you can just chill out, and you can easily get into a very comfortable position. Like the height of the top of the door is just perfect for laying your elbow, and the center console you can just lay your left arm in, which is can just be chilled, drive around, and yeah, nothing hectic. Another nice thing about the driving experience is that because the car sits so tall, actually we're passing its rival, the Everest. Looks nice. Because it's so tall, you have a great view of everything that's around you. You literally sit above pretty much every other car on the road. You can literally see everything from a top view. So yeah, it feels like you're driving a skyscraper in a way. But yeah, I quite like the driving experience. It's nothing away from what I expected from this kind of vehicle. It does offer what you expect from it. It is a Toyota. I feel like Toyota is how do I put it? It's a people's brand. Like, it's just a car that you can have as a do-it-all vehicle for your family, for your work, whatever type of situation you want to get into, this car can get it done. So I feel like that's what this type of vehicle is for. But yeah, I don't have anything more to add, but I really do hope you guys enjoyed this review, and until next time, that's cheers from me.